SpaceX has reportedly filed confidential paperwork to raise $75 billion. If successful, this initial public offering values the company at $1.75 trillion. To justify a valuation multiple that large, you need a massive future revenue stream. Elon Musk is pitching a highly specific vision to investors, building a network of massive orbital data centers. This concept is rapidly turning into an industry-wide race. Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin are preparing to bring their own satellite networks online in the next few years to compete directly with this space compute model. Private capital is heavily backing the trend. A Y Combinator startup named StarCloud, built entirely around the business of space-based data networks, just secured $170 million, pushing it into unicorn status. Putting computer servers in orbit has crossed over from a theoretical physics debate into a multi-billion-dollar financial narrative driving tech valuations. The underlying motivation for this trend starts on the ground. The physical infrastructure required for the current AI boom is hitting a severe wall of local zoning laws and grid limitations. Tech executives are exhausting themselves fighting community opposition to secure power and permits. Musk recently navigated exactly this type of intense regulatory friction to build his new supercomputer facility in Memphis. This creates a highly counterintuitive calculation for billionaires. They are betting that the extreme engineering challenges of operating in a vacuum are actually easier to overcome than the social and political challenges of building in a municipality. You weigh the heavy cost of earthly regulatory delays against the massive expense of rocket launches and orbital data latency. Space offers a vacuum entirely free of local zoning boards. That ability to bypass the permit process is exactly why capital flows toward orbit. Orbital data centers function as a form of regulatory arbitrage. These companies are actively trading legal friction on Earth for engineering friction in space. To understand the financial mechanics, look at the core business reality of both Blue Origin and SpaceX. They are, above all else, heavy launch providers. Constructing a viable data center in orbit requires launching thousands of individual satellite nodes. That volume of hardware translates to a massive, ongoing stream of launch contracts. This creates a closed-loop economic engine. Every single server node sent to space is booked as guaranteed high-margin launch revenue for SpaceX itself. They leverage their existing Starlink production lines and network architecture to rapidly inflate internal revenue metrics. Pitching this grand, sprawling vision for the future of computing gives executives the leverage to negotiate pre-IPO valuations based on limitless potential rather than current grounded cash flows. Whether an orbital cloud scales efficiently or fails entirely, building it functions as an immediate financial engine to pump up SpaceX's valuation today. This decision scorecard maps how to interpret the $1.75 trillion valuation for investors. Exclude promised space server revenue from near-term financial models entirely. Base evaluations strictly on their undeniable launch monopoly and established Starlink cash flow. Treat the space data center narrative as a speculative R&D bonus. It operates as a highly effective tool to raise valuation multiples, but it is not a foundational pillar of their immediate financial stability. Smart money will price the space cloud as an IPO marketing strategy, protecting their portfolios by focusing entirely on established terrestrial monopolies. For cloud architects and enterprise leaders managing massive AI rollouts right now, the calculus is entirely different. Orbital data centers will not arrive fast enough to solve your immediate bottlenecks. The timeline for space deployment does not map to current AI development cycles. This chart highlights the physical scale. Projected orbital capacity is a drop in the bucket compared to overwhelming terrestrial AI demand. Budget for the rapidly rising costs of earthly data center leasing. Pausing your infrastructure expansion because you are waiting for a sci-fi solution in orbit is a guaranteed way to fall behind competitors in the immediate AI arms race. Plan your architecture around the fact that orbital servers will only ever act as a specialized supplement for specific edge cases, never a complete replacement for a robust Earth-based cloud strategy. For tech founders and macro investors searching for the next major market gap, look closely at what this trend actually signals. A massive hype around space data centers operates as a flashing warning sign about the extreme fragility of our current earthly infrastructure. If the richest executives in the world are willing to shoot servers into a vacuum to avoid gridlock, it proves that local power generation and facility cooling are in a profound crisis. Solving the exact terrestrial bottlenecks that drove Musk and Bezos to orbit offers a massive direct return on investment. Capital will heavily reward startups solving for next-generation geothermal energy, micronuclear power facilities, and advanced liquid cooling technologies. The loudest tech trend in space confirms that the most critical and profitable problems in the world remain right here on Earth.